If someone offers you an amazing opportunity and you're not sure you can do it, say yes, then learn how to do it. Now, I think Richard Branson's a brilliant guy. I've even read his books, such as, Screw Business as Usual, and I thought it was good. I hate this quote, though, because it is so applicable to the things gone wrong in technology. And, Brett, do a lot of people just say yes to things they shouldn't do because they just don't have the skills to do it and take a quote like this out of context?
Absolutely, almost every day.
In
It's crazy.
It is, and I wanted to say if it's not a fit, don't do it. If it's not something you have the
Mhm.
skills to do, because cybersecurity and things like that require certain skill levels. Now, don't worry, I'm not saying you have to be some expert, you have to have some certification, because that's still a little fuzzy in our market. And the barrier of entry to get into tech is pretty much putting the hat on that says, I'm a technician. But if there's something that you have, not a little bit of imposter syndrome, but literally a complete lack of knowledge on how to do. And that can be wiring, that can be how to implement security properly. And there are general best practice guides out there that you can find. There are conferences you can attend and interact with your peers and understand this. But unfortunately, and this is sometimes, because of the failures that we're picking up the pieces and taking over, that we walk into a server room by probably someone's first time. And one of the sadder ones was a person had spent $15,000 and they had a server room that was an absolute utter disaster by this person who, after some grilling a little bit, found out it was absolutely their first time to ever put one together. And they did it wrong and burned through all the person's money. And we were there to clean it up and solve it. So this
Yeah.
is,
We kinda come in and solve it a lot of times because of that. I think you and I were talking this morning about a client that's trying to do a large project, and maybe it's out of their wheelhouse. You and I have also talked recently about a project we've been asked to do, and we're looking at it going, "Maybe this isn't a fit for us."
yeah.
I
And I do that
know.
as well. This is
Yeah.
absolutely, and occasionally, I finished it literally. What brought this whole conversation up as I was typing back to someone, they want to solve a problem and it's a clever they thought way to do it, but I don't find to be a very manageable way. So even though there's kind of a way I could put it together, I know it's not a fit. I know it's not a good solution. So I simply said no. Now,
Right.
this is Brett didn't like me saying no exactly from a dollar and cent standpoint, because you're like, well, this is a big project and it has some big money attached to it. But the other side of it is it's not a fit for the skill sets we have, for the way we design things and the product offerings we have, and it's not worth it for me to completely say yes and figure it out along the way, because it's just not really in our wheelhouse to do so. So this is one of those things where you really have to think about the context. Think about, do you want to level up to those skills? I mean, do I think we could completely learn a new product and train and everything for one client? We could. It would take a lot of company resources to dedicate to it,
Yeah.
because if I did it, I'm going to do it right. But it's better in my case to say it's not a fit. There are other people out there that do it. When we can, we'll
Yeah.
even hand people off to referral partners, if it's a solution that we know someone else just is better at providing.
Well, you wanna win that customer, right?
Yeah.
But in the end, if you don't know how to do the project, or if you blow through their entire budget and the project's still not done, did you win that client?
Yeah, and sometimes it's an
I mean,
appreciation we have when we told someone we couldn't solve a problem, and it led to us actually winning a lot more business from them, because you said, "We can't
right.
solve this problem because it's not something. This is where your problem is. It's a little different than you think, but we don't solve that." And we gave them referral, and they said, "Well, that's an honest answer," and I kind of like that, because
Yeah,
I didn't want to just take their money. And we've actually won that as a client, just not that particular piece of the project, but the people we referred to did it well. That's great. You can have good referral partners. You can still hand someone off completely, because sometimes a client isn't a fit at all because we don't have an expertise. That's where having friends
right.
in a business matters. And the overall trust relationship you build with that client still means there may be a future. And not to mention the people you're referring to, they may have some segments of things they don't do. So it kind of creates an ecosystem around you of things. But just if it's not a fit, don't do it. And don't
Yeah.
just say yes, like that quote I had pulled up.
Don't be the normal sales guy like me and say yes to everything. Don't do it.
Yeah, and I know your heart wants to say yes right away because you're like dollars and you're like, I could solve this problem and there's some money to be made in the process, but that's not to say a good reason. But that's all we have for you. Just, we were punching through this, and after that decision, we said, you know what the business talk is today? It's this topic right here. And I
Yes.
just couldn't help but pull it up one more time. Don't just do this. You could still appreciate as I do a lot of the wisdom and the books and stuff that Richard Branson, but this particular quote is to me, there's that thinking and mentality that's probably caused more than a few disasters in the IT industry because of it. So,
Absolutely.
all right. Thanks. And you guys have a great day.